All of a sudden, friggin' bots, you. Just want to show you Netherlands, what's erupting over there. Massive anti-immigration protests driving the New World Order popos away. They said, we want our country back. This is what it takes to get your country back. Voting ain't going to do it. I dare to say even making videos is not going to do it, although making videos, using your platform, will help create mass awareness, and that's what we need. But that's about as far as it goes. It creates mass awareness, and then what's the next step? Well, take a look at what the Netherlands are doing. They're sick and tired of the invaders. Are you watching, America? Are you watching what the Netherlands are doing? What about over there in Holland? Remember the farmers were taking their tractors to the freaking capital because the New World Order pieces of crap government was trying to shut down the farms, and the farmers would have none of that. And en masse, they went to the capital and they threw shit all over the damn buildings. Yeah, they wouldn't give up and they wouldn't back down. Tom Petty's in the background. He's singing "I Won't Back Down." Yeah, that's what it takes. And that's actually a video from Threads. I might have to sign up to that. I know this was a thing until a buddy of mine at the gym said, "Hey," he said, "Hey, did you know that Trump's top counter-terrorism expert, Joe," well, he didn't name the name, but his name is Joe Kent, resigned? I said, "Really? I didn't hear anything about that." He said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, why did he resign?" And my friend says, "Well, he doesn't agree with the Iran war." I said, "Well, I don't really agree with it either. I don't want any wars. I've been saying we got enough shit to deal with here in America. A lot of stuff that we need to straighten out." So here it is. Let me go over this real quick, in case you didn't know. In a stunning development that exposes cracks at the highest levels of power, President Donald Trump's top counterterrorism official has abruptly resigned, refusing to stand behind a war that he says should never have been fought. But while Washington deals with internal fracture, Iran is doing something far more dangerous. They are changing the battlefield, Iran is, in real time with a coordinated drone war that is now hitting targets across the Middle East. Don't worry. The hens are about to come home to roost. Someone said on Fascist Book in the comments section that Iran's our real enemy. You know, this person says he was in the military, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's what was beat into your head. Iran, Russia, China. Of course. Right? My dad was in the military. As a matter of fact, I believe doing this means that you're all like hive-minded. You all think alike. That's what that means. It's like this is pointing to the mind, something like that. And I have nothing against the military necessarily. You all think you're fighting for freedom, but you're really not. It's a meat grinder. My dad died at 71. He was a 100% disabled Vietnam vet. My mom was his nurse for 16 years around the clock, keeping him alive longer than he would have been had she not taken care of him. And let me say this, he died at 71 years old. That's young. The older I get, I see what 71 looks like. That's only 15 years from where I be. And 15 years goes like that. 15 years ago, 2011, it's 41, ripping and roaring. 56, ripping and roaring. 71, he should still been going. He should be alive today. But he wasn't. Why? Because of Agent Orange and other factors war associated. This is a bunch of crap. Alright? And these wars need to stop. I'm sick of it. We got all this money for wars, but yet, we got homeless. We got sleeper cell invaders here in sleeper cells. And I'm not putting it all on Trump. This has been going for the longest time. Way before Trump, way before. But the last 4 years under Biden, oh my God, that exacerbated the issue. Oh yes, it did. The UN's armies here, Iranians included, are here, right here in America, sleeper cells. The government knows about it. Thing is, the government is compartmentalized. You know that, right? The left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing, etc. And all presidents are pretty much advised. They could be given ill advice or just not being informed at all. So the way I see it is the president is not the end all, know all things. All right, it's other departments of the government and advisors. Advisors have to say, well, look, this is what's going on. Let me point to you what's going on. unless you show the so-called president of what's going on, president doesn't know. He's still in the dark. So, and that goes for any president. But Biden knew what he was doing. He had the fucking border wide open. He was proud of that shit. And that's bullshit. But here we are. Here we are. So you got this Joe Kent that abruptly resigned because he just didn't want to be part of this and said we shouldn't be in war. And then you got Iran. I hear that the drones are just unbelievably off the charts. They're just attacking with just swarms of drones relentlessly. In just the past 24 hours, Iran unleashed a multi-front drone offensive that lit up the region. I'll show you some clips. Lit up the region like a war map coming alive. That's how bad it is, or so we're told over there. Oil infrastructure. Notice that's the common denominator, or one of them, or the one. I'll say the one is the oil is being attacked. The oil is being attacked. In my opinion, this is a war on oil. I don't even think it's for oil. It's on it, because the less oil we have, the less gas we have. They always want us on electric this, electric that. It's electric. Remember they were trying to ban wood-burning stoves just a couple of years ago? I went over that and trying to force us into just all total electric stoves. By the way, first of all, electric is radiation. Also with electric, if the grid goes down, you're screwed, right? They control you. They can say, oh, you're using too much electric. With your smart meter, we notice that you have an uptick in the use of electricity. We're going to have to cap you off at this. You know, just like in a third world country. That's what they want, total control with electricity. Total control. So this is an attack on oil is what I see. Iran blowing this up and this, that, and the other. What happened to all that oil we got from Venezuela? I'm waiting for that to come in and lower the prices. I hear that it's going to happen. I'm just waiting for it. Right now here in my area, in Georgia, it's $3.89 a gallon, so holding steady for several days in a row. Yay. I just hope it doesn't hit $4 and above. But if this keeps going on and we don't get any relief, they could go to $8. I hear in California it's $8. They're price gouging already a gallon. $8 a gallon, and here it could go to $8 a gallon, $12 a gallon, $15 a gallon. I went over this, and then by April, if this shit's still going on and there's absolutely no relief with oil, no oil. I don't think it's going to come to that, but you never know in clown world, right? We just never know in clown world. There was a major drone strike that ignited a fire at the UAE's Shah gas field. See? A gas field in the UAE, United Arab Emirates. Shah, S-H-A-R, gas field. So UAE has this gas field, a very important one. I'm sure all gas fields would be. And a drone strike, a major one, ignited a fire there. Do you see where this is going? It's forcing operations to shut down, sending a clear message that energy is now a target. There you go. Boom. Energy is a target. At the same time, repeated drone attacks struck the Furaja oil hub. I probably butchered that, but who cares? It attacked, another drone strike attacked the oil hub, one of the most critical fuel storage and shipping centers on Earth. One of the most critical fuel storage and shipping centers on Earth was attacked by drones. This is threatening worldwide supplies. I don't know if I need to go any further. This looks like an attack, and it's this on oil, and this is an attack on us, really. When Iran's bombing the oil fields and stuff, and this is really, I can't support it. I don't support any us going to any other country and starting wars at all. And I know what a lot of you out there are going to say. We're doing Israel's bidding. I'm not arguing that at all. 5 years ago, I might argue that. I'm not arguing that anymore. All right, I'm done with that. Yeah, whatever. Yes, okay, whatever. Greater Israel, I get that. I understand that. I know where you're coming from. I do understand that. So yeah, I don't support this. I think it's terrible. But you got a lot of people that do support this because they're still looking at it through the lens of the media's lens that Iran bad guys. Now, we allowed Iran to come in here. They could stop all this. Let me tell you something. We got the technology. I was just watching a video today that we got the technology to stop all drugs, to not have them come in our country, to just not have any sleeper cells. They can get rid of all sleeper cells, can be gotten rid of. all drugs are going to be gotten rid of. They don't want it to be getting rid of. This war on drugs, it's no war on drugs. It's bullshit. All right, we still have drugs. It's all bullshit. All this could be stopped in a New York minute, in a nanosecond. All right, and in my opinion, this is all immature. This is immature. It's like a bunch of bullies on a playground, elementary school playground. That's what it is. Only they're adults. I'm gonna beat you up. I'm gonna shoot you. I'm gonna attack this. I'm gonna destroy. Rodney King's back there in '93. It was '92. Can't we all just get along? I think we could if we tried a little harder. But when your borders are wide open for 4 years, when they allow sleeper cells in here for decades, it's festering and it's got to come to a head. This is all part of the plan. They caused the problems over decades, all in the making for decades. We react. They have their shitty New World Order tyranny solution. So this so-called war is expanding. It's expanding. The battlefield is in the Middle East. Gulf nations are shutting down airspace. Oil prices are surging, and the Strait of Hormuz trembles under the threat of closure. So let's take a look at this, and we'll show you a video, a nifty little video that's 1 minute 57 seconds that'll show you about the false flag drone attack. It's going to be massive. Methinks worse than 9/11. Worse than 9/11. 9/11 was horrible. It killed over 3,000 people. My cousin actually was, I think if I remember the story, she, at the time she lived in Brooklyn, and she was right there by the World Trade Centers, and she was going up the stairs from the subway. She put it this way, she saw the mayhem, from what I understand. Let me show you this.
Overnight, a wave of drone and rocket attacks targeting the US Embassy in Baghdad. This new video capturing air defense shooting down a drone at the last moment. Fires seen burning, Iraqi officials describing this as the most intense assault since attacks began, involving at least 5 drones. This Baghdad hotel, not far from the embassy, also hit. The attack's proof Iran is still able to inflict physical chaos across the region and economic chaos around the globe. President Trump is now criticizing US allies who've so far declined his request to send warships to protect oil tankers in the Strait of Hormuz.
We can't be at every place to support a war which we didn't start it.
We will not be drawn into the wider war.
The UK not yet ruling out joining, but a European Union official saying
It won't be drawn into a wider war, just like American sentiment is against the war, but just like false flags of yesteryear. When they do a false flag in Europe, then the Europeans are going to go, we're in the war, right? Right? Isn't that how it goes? Isn't that why they're going to do one here? Because most of America doesn't want to be in this war. There's protests going all around the place, and I can understand that. But when they do the false flag, then Americans can go, huh, maybe we should be for the war. See how that works? Oh, what's going on over here? Breaking news. Pro-Iranian militias released footage showing a drone conducting a low-altitude reconnaissance flight over the U.S. Embassy compound. Baghdad. Let's take a look. Well, this is from the drone's perspective. You see it, or so they say. Yeah, you see the. I'm sure it's making an annoying, like, high-pitched sound, right? There you go. You see it. I keep hearing for the longest time that we're the strongest nation, on the strongest military we have. Okay, at one time I believed that, but then how come they said we lost the Vietnam War? We killed 2 million of them. They killed 68,000 plus of ours. So we killed way more of them than in Vietnam than they killed of ours. But somehow we lost the war because somehow communism is still there. Did we win Afghanistan? Did we win Iraq? Supposedly every war after World War II, we didn't win. I think the Korean War is a stalemate, right? And that's why they have the DMV. So all I'm saying is, they keep saying that we have the strongest military. Okay, show and prove. Let's start winning. Every. If we're gonna get in a war, fucking win it. They say for the longest time, years on end, well, America's the richest country on earth. Okay, if that's true, why are we like $100 trillion in debt plus? Oh, they said 33 trillion or 36 trillion, whatever they say. It's a lot more than that. Why we're in debt, but we're rich? Let me ask you, does that make sense to you? If you're in debt, how the fuck can you be rich? Are you in the red or are you in the black? Which one is it? How the hell are you rich, but you're in massive debt as a country? That doesn't make any sense. But gas prices are going up. Diesel's over $5 a gallon, and we've put up with this shit under Beijing Joe Biden. For you that don't understand what I'm saying, Joe Biden's watch. We put up with this shit for years, 4 fucking years. Our borders were wide open. Everything was going up. Food, everything. Cost of living, overall, everything. Gas was through the roof. So much so that people putting stickers on gas pumps with Joe Biden pointing to the price, saying, "I did that." Eggs. I've seen stickers with stickers of Joe Biden pointing to the egg price, saying he did that, which he didn't. That was stupid bird flu, which wasn't even real. But if they want to blame presidents and their policies and all that, then Joe Biden, gas prices constantly high, but the whole fucking time, way over $5, way over. Here in my neck of the woods, it was pushing them $5 at one point, and we're low compared to the rest of the country. That was under Joe Biden. So here we are again with this nonsense. A lot of you out there are probably for this, not in BitChute, but in Normie land, are probably for this war and say you're going to put up with these prices and all this stuff. But I don't see anything good about this. But with that aside, here's the thing. Here's the deal. That 2024 drone in New Jersey thing that no one knew. The government was like, "Oh my God, I'm baffled. Why? What is this? What is this?" Or they weren't even speaking about it. Nobody was saying anything in the government about it, hardly. But people were baffled. What is that in the sky? Remember over New Jersey, it was drones. Well, what were they doing? Word on the street was that there was a dry run, just like COVID was a dry run. There were no viruses for the New World Order to see how it would react to total absolute tyranny. Well, the drones over New Jersey was a dry run to test them out, or as they say in Canadian, oot, right? And so now it looks like that they're going to do a dastardly deed on America to make all of us straighten up. Well, I say y'all, even though I'm American, I live here. I ain't going along with this. When this shit happens, and if it goes down, I'm gonna see it for what I see it right now. It's a false flag that's been either it's our own bad apples within our government doing it, or our own bad apples, and there's a lot of them because we've been infiltrated over decades. Church has been infiltrated, indoctrination institutions you call universities and schools have been infiltrated by communists. And our government has been infiltrated. We're overrun. The enemy's within. I've been saying this for years. So if Iran's being allowed to do it, or our own government's going to pawn it off and blame, our own government's going to do this and then blame Iran, it doesn't really matter, because the fact of the matter is they're going to blame someone else. They're going to blame Iran. They're going to try to get everyone on board, just like when Pearl Harbor was attacked and our government knew it. Japs wanted to attack Pearl Harbor, but they let it happen because Americans didn't want to get into World War II. But after Pearl Harbor was attacked, by golly, Americans were like, Rosie Riveter, Rosie Riveter. Rosie the Riveter. Posters everywhere. Let's take a look at this video real quick. Sick of this. What we're going to do right now, son, daughter.
The FBI warning of possible Iranian drone attacks on our homeland. A new alert reviewed by ABC News revealing Iran's aspirations to conduct a surprise attack specifically against unspecified targets in California.
This has got to be one of the dumbest psyops of all time. We've reviewed an alert that came within the last couple of weeks, Kira, just recently.
Hang on a quick second here. You guys heard that, right? He said that this bulletin supposedly came from within the last week or two. But then in this graphic right here, it says September 2025 bulletin. That was 6 months ago. And now they're making it sound like it's some new thing that just came up. Now they're just bringing it up like it's breaking news.
Let me pause that. It says September 2025 bulletin. An uncorroborated report suggested that unidentified Mexican cartel leaders had authorized attacks using UAS drones carrying explosives against U.S. law enforcement and U.S. military personnel along the U.S.-Mexican border. So it's going to be the cartels? Oh, well, from what I understand, the cartels are government. You could say this also. They're all in on it together. Come on, man. Come on. It's basically us against the New World Order. That's what it is. Us peons, so to speak, against the deletes. The deletes, not elites, the deletes with a D.
Thing that just came up, now they're just bringing it up like it's breaking news? That's a little weird and a little sus. This narrative that Iran could somehow strike California is actually a complete media fabrication, and we have the proof. Quote, a source with knowledge of the memo, but not authorized to discuss it publicly, said that the...
It's kind of blurry. So let's listen to him. He's reading it.
To discuss it publicly, said that the warning was issued based proof. Quote, a source with knowledge of the memo, but not authorized to discuss it publicly, said that the warning was issued based on intelligence received by the United States Coast Guard. Law enforcement sources experienced in intelligence said such alerts are cautionary in nature. The source is experienced in counterterrorism and said that, quote, it's not been deemed credible at this time. The sources also stressed that the warning was cautionary and that there was no indication that Iran was planning an attack or if it even could successfully launch one. So what this is nothing more than, oh yeah, we had this feeling that Iran would like to attack us, even though they don't have the weapons to even pull off this attack. But they want to, though. And what this does is it gives fodder to traitors like Lindsey Graham to call for boots on the ground in Iran.
I go back to South Carolina. I'm asking them to send their sons and daughters over to the Mideast.
I'm going back to South Carolina, and I'm asking to send our sons and daughters over.
I don't know how that queer's still around, Lindsey Graham. I mean, how old is that bitch?
There to the Middle East, says a closeted gay dude with no children.
He is.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. If this might not happen, but a lot of things haven't happened because we expose their bullshit. We get ahead of it. In other words, we expose it enough for them to say, oh my God, they're starting to create a decent size of awareness. I don't think we need to press the issue any further. I don't think we need to have another fucking bird flu. I don't think we need to have another damn stupid monkeypox or COVID or anything and lockdowns that way. They stop that. They'll try to do lockdowns for energy reasons. Oh, there's not enough gas. Or you know, we gotta... I just saw a damn title of an article, a headline saying Mum Dummy in New York City. You POSs over there that support that shit, Mum Dummy, that Muslim. He's actually lowering the speed limits to 15 miles an hour. Why is that? It's control. It's probably going to save gas, save this, save on gas and all this. It's all fucking control. That's what all this shit is. And depopulation. And never forget it. That's what I got for you. Be on guard. If this false flag doesn't happen, you could flex and perplex. You can say, I'm stock dirt. Booyah. I'm ahead of the curve, ahead of the game. But if it does happen, you're prepared anyway. One way or another, be prepared for this. Because they're not going to stop. And none of this damn bullshit in clown world is going to stop. Until it's stopped. But I digress at any rate. Don't be a troll out there. There's quite a few of them out there. You go low, trolls, we go high. Read between the lines. As I say in Canadian, I am oot.